Hi, I'm Paige Pradko. Welcome to Therapy for a Better Life. This is the second video in a two-part series on health anxiety. If you missed that last video, you really want to go back and check it out before watching this because you need the background information about what health anxiety is, the different types of health anxiety, and how it resembles a little bit more of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, than it does an anxiety disorder. Now this video I am concentrating on treatment, what to do about it. And in my practice I use a 5-prong approach, a little bit from 5 different therapies to treat health anxiety, and I have found this to be very successful in my clients with health anxiety. So number 1, I use somatic therapy. Now somatic therapies have to do with the body. So I am focusing on teaching them methods to calm the body, specifically calming the amygdala in their brain, the fear center of their brain. Now I have a video series on calming the body where I review the top research proven ways to calm the amygdala. When we bring down calm the amygdala activity, we are reducing anxiety symptoms throughout our whole body. So the 2 techniques I recommend the most, number 1 is breath-focused meditation. And again, you can review how to do this on my video. And I recommend 5 minutes, 1 to 3 times a day. It's a very simple technique, but very effective. The second, I recommend diaphragmatic breathing, specifically square breathing is my favorite. So you can review these approaches on how to calm down the body and calm down the amygdala. Now the second theory I use to treat health anxiety is CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. Because we have a misinterpretation of what's going on in our body, we have to examine the facts, examine the evidence, check the facts on what's going on here. And so we very specifically in session are going to look at what do the medical reports say? What does the doctor say? What are the real facts here? Is our brain over exaggerating and creating a crisis where it doesn't need to be? Are we having cognitive distortions? Are we catastrophizing and just getting it wrong here? So we are going to check the facts. I'm going to leave a link on the logic section of my CALM method for treating anxiety. The CALM method you can learn more about if you view some of my video series, but in the logic section I teach CBT techniques, and you can get more familiar with checking the facts and cognitive distortions, which I definitely recommend for health anxiety. Now the third technique I use is possibly the most important one, and it's called strategic exposure therapy. In order to demonstrate what strategic exposure therapy is, I'm going to show you a few graphs. Now the first graph, you will see that anxiety is on the vertical axis and time is on the horizontal axis. And at the bottom of the graph you can see that this dot represents that a person just had a body sensation that they misinterpreted as something dangerous, or they had a very fearful thought about their health. And this causes their amygdala to get activated, the fear center of their brain, and so their anxiety goes sky high. Now, in order to bring down their anxiety, they perform a compulsive behavior. The compulsive behavior may be seeking reassurance from friends, family, doctors, researching on the internet. All these activities are ways of seeking reassurance. As soon as they seek reassurance, their anxiety comes down. But the seeking reassurance just reinforced the false belief that something was wrong with them. And so the next time they have the fear, or the next time they feel a body sensation, their anxiety goes sky high again. Now they have to check for reassurance again. Or they have to, another compulsive behavior is checking the status of their body. How is that lump doing? What's my blood pressure? What's my heart rate? They have to kind of check different ways of checking their body status. Or they might have these safety behaviors that I reviewed in the last video. But there are compulsive behaviors, again, that they have to do to bring that anxiety down. But the next time, boom, their anxiety goes up again. So what we do in strategic exposure therapy is that we have to eliminate all compulsive behaviors. All seeking reassurance, we have to eliminate. We have to eliminate all the safety behaviors. We have to eliminate all the attempts to check your body status, blood pressure, heart rate, all of those needs to check. We have to stop all the behaviors. Then what happens is when you feel a body sensation or you have a fearful thought, your anxiety spikes. There's going to be no compulsive behavior. So anxiety over time drops on its own if you don't do anything to reinforce it. Now, the next time you have a thought or a body sensation, the anxiety goes up again, but not quite as far because you didn't reinforce with the behavior. And so it drops again slowly on its own. And the next time it happens, it goes up again, but the anxiety doesn't go up as far. It drops again on its own. And this is the way exposure therapy works. Now, the last two therapies are not quite as important, but they're still therapies that I include after we get into therapy a little bit and they've done the other therapies I discussed. And this is mindfulness. I want clients to learn to mindfully observe themselves having a body sensation. And I want them to normalize it as something normal. And I want them to also be aware of how their brain tries to create some kind of false meaning or misinterpretation that a body sensation means something fearful and something negative. So learning to observe that helps a client to not overreact to it, and it just normalizes. And the last therapy is called ACT, Acceptance and Commitment Therapy. And what I love about this therapy is that it teaches us that, we have body sensations sometimes. We have fear sometimes. We have anxiety sometimes. This is normal. And so we also have values and things we want to do in life, places we want to go, things we want to do. And we are not going to let health anxiety stop us. And so we just get determined to follow our values and follow things that we want to do. And if anxiety wants to jump along in our backpack and come with us, we'll let it come with us, but we are going to do what we want to do anyway, not letting health anxiety stop us. So I hope that you learned some new information about how to treat health anxiety. It is very treatable. You do not have to live with this kind of horrible fear that something terrible is wrong with you. There are very effective ways to treat it. If you have any questions about health anxiety treatment, or if you'd like to share kind of how you cope and things that you've done, I'd be very interested in reading your comments in the comment section. And I hope that you subscribe to my channel because I do like to cover topics that I think will really help people. So until next time, I will see you in session. Take care. Bye-bye.